Good evening and welcome to the Garage Talk GP Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My name is Takato Timmerman and we are looking forward to an exciting race here tonight. As we got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left of qualifying, let's take a look at some racetrack information. So the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is located in Indianapolis, Indiana. Opened in 1909, has a length of 2.439 miles. And some notable things is the current layout has been used since 2014, and races run here to this day. And they run in early May. And let's get back on the track. Tonight is race number 5. As Road Atlanta was rescheduled. Today's date is April 9th. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight. We're at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the road course tonight. We will have Milwaukee next week, and the week after we will be at Iowa. Between Iowa and Milwaukee will be Road Atlanta. And then we'll be at Texas. And then we'll finish it off here at Las Vegas at night. Let's take a quick look at our standings. As we can see here, as of 5 races, we got Eric Richardson with 140 points. DJ Fluck with 130. Derek Booker with 129. So that'll be a good race to watch between the two of them. Jake Zito with 118, Bill Cawley II with 116, Ian Miller with 110. And there's a tie for 7th place between Wyatt Franklin and Joshua Chinsky with 105, Joe Hutchings with 90 points, Eric Mattingly with 89, Austin Johnson with 84, Brian McKinney with 78, Mark Ouellette with 64, Chris Graves with 45, Brandon Birmingham with 32, Hunter Hughes with 31, Tyler Lugo Victory with 15, and Mark Vickers with 13 points. We got about another 30 seconds left to qualifying. We'll see how everyone qualifies. Our timing, our leaderboard is a little messed up because it is a different style of qualifying. And let's take a look at some things to look out for tonight's race. So there will be 45 laps. The fuel window will be between laps 23 and 24. So we're looking at about 1 to 2 stops for each driver. There will be no cautions tonight, so that is a little different compared to most of our races here tonight. And they will start off with the tires that they had for qualifying, and they will alternate for the primary tires. The previous winner here was Hunter Hughes, who is currently on track. So let's keep an eye out for all these drivers tonight and see how it goes. The checkered flag is out to end the session, so we'll keep an eye on that and see how everything else turns out tonight. But thank you very much for joining us tonight. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to Rogue Energy. This race is presented by Rogue Energy. We're going to do something new tonight. Something that we haven't tried yet. We're going to do some replays, because I know I've missed a couple incidents in the race, and I would like to try to catch them and try to be able to show everyone at home or wherever you're watching this broadcast from our incidents, because that's always fun to watch. So we will try something new. So please bear with me tonight as we give the instant replay a chance to kind of work on some bugs, and let's see how it works out. And it looks like we have the race is about to start. Everyone will be getting ready for the formation lap, as we have in first place, leading off, Ian Miller, and I lost everything. In second place, we have Booker, a number 5 car. In third place, we have Chinsky. In fourth place, we have Hutchings. In fifth place, we have Hughes. Sixth place, we have Franklin. Seventh place, we have Johnston. Eighth place, we have McKinney. Ninth place, we have Zito. 10th place, we have Mattingly. 11th place, we have Ouellette. 12th place, we have Fluck. 13th place, we have Richardson. 14th place, we have Birmingham. And 15th place, we have Colley II. Before we start our race tonight, I would like to bring in someone into the broadcast as they are slowly forming in. Hi, Hunter. Do you have a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the broadcast booth. How's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going good.
Any, how's the car feeling tonight so far? I know you had a little bit of qualifying.
Yeah, it feels pretty good right now. I noticed that the top 4 seem to be on the alternate tire. Me and Joshua and the primary tires going back, so it's going to be interesting to see the different tire compounds and how they run throughout the race.
That's true. Does it feel better to drive in the dry conditions compared to how Saturday was in the endurance race or in the endurance cars?
100%. The dries are way nicer.
That's good. All right, well, good luck tonight, and we hope that you have a good race tonight.
Thank you.
And that was Hunter Hughes in the number 18 car. The race that we were talking about on Saturday was streamed at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, where we are practicing to get ready for our endurance races that will be happening here. Our FR endurance team. We are currently trying to start that up, so keep an eye out for those. We will have a post out very soon regarding the schedule and our times that we will be racing for the endurance team. On Saturday, we were at this course, and we had the rain turn on with some fog, so very different look of the course and very different traction. So we will see how everyone does tonight. I believe it was Hughes and Richardson, and I think it was, I can't remember who the other person was, so my apologies. I think it was Miller. Yes, Ian Miller was also part of the race on Saturday. It was just 3 of us. We're hoping to get more participants to practice with us. But on that note, looks like we are getting ready to start the race. Let's go to the blimp view. They're going to do their parade lap real quickly. I believe this is into turn 10 as they go around turn 11. Maybe I'm wrong. I do have the track map pulled up on my phone onto the side. Yes, I believe this is turn 11. And they're going to go through turns 12 and 13. And when they get to 14, the safety car or the pace car will go into the pits, and we will have some green flag conditions for the whole race, as there are no caution flags during tonight's race. Just a quick heads up, there is one quick repair for all the drivers tonight. So that'll be something to look out for. And we are about to hit green flag conditions. 3, 2, 1, green flag. Oh, I was off. Would be a jump start on my end. And green flag. Looks like Miller's got a good jump. Booker also got a great jump. Looks like all the drivers got a really good jump off of the green flag. It'll be interesting off of turn 1 to see if there are any incidents. Looks pretty clean so far throughout the whole course. Oh, it looks like we have a spin out, but we're gonna keep an eye out on the rest of the drivers. Yeah, turns 1 where you just saw, and this turn upcoming, turn 7, is something to look out for as we see another car that has spun out. Looks like that was Hunter Hughes. And looks like McKinney overshot the track there. But so far, for lap 1, not too bad, not too much carnage. This turn of, I believe it was turn 10. Nope, I'm not right. Where are we? Turn 7 is interesting. Something to keep an eye out for. And then turn 12, as they come around the corner, is it's pretty hard to see. I've driven this course a couple times, and it's been, as we get to see Hughes take his rear tire is kind of not looking too hot. Lots of carnage on the road tonight so far. Lots of shakeups. But yeah, that turn 12 is kind of hard to see because there's some markers, but you got to know the track before you race it, and it's tough to see. As we are sitting in Franklin's car currently, with McKinney, who's sitting in 5th. I don't think that's correct. Let's see. Oh, that's Hutchings in front of Franklin there. As we see Hughes take the inside line to go around Richardson. Oh, and Richardson gets him in the back. And causes a little bit of traffic there. Oh, and Richardson gets him again. That looks a little painful. Hughes is getting tapped left and right. His car's not a little beaten up. Richardson's car might not be turning the way he wants it to. Not really having too much control there. And Richardson is going into the pits for a quick repair as we jump over to Mattingly, as he only sits about half a second behind Fluck in the number 88 car. Oh, and we're jumping back to Hughes as he gets around Colley the second. Even after all the couple incidents that he's had so far, looks like he's hanging in there. And Mattingly gets around Fluck. Quick side note: DJ Fluck was in the broadcast booth with us on Saturday, broadcasting the endurance race. I was happy to be able to broadcast with him that night, or not that night, sorry, that morning. Got to see some rain and some fog firsthand, so that was really cool to watch. Anyways, back to the race. This is going to be an interesting race to broadcast, as it is a road course. We're going to be jumping around a lot. It is a big track to follow. So I'm going to do my best to give a broad coverage of all the drivers if I can. Currently letting the AI director kind of control the camera. I do have a 10-second hold on each driver, so if anyone has a stopwatch, you can time it, and it gives about 10 seconds before it flips to a different driver. So we're currently locked on with Johnston. I think it might move us to... No, I think it's going to keep us there, as there are 3 cars altogether, with Johnston, McKinney, and Booker, who is currently a lap down. Again, not having the caution is going to definitely speed up this race tonight, since it is a road course. So you got 45 laps tonight. This is going to be a fun event to watch. Not so much wheel-to-wheel racing, but more lots of just skill and knowing the course. To that'll be that'll be up to the drivers and see if they can take full advantage of that. Oh, it looks like Roulette in front of... Oh, not Roulette. That was Zito. And he currently sits in 5th. Cut the course, so he probably had to slow down a little bit there. We're currently on lap 5. The fuel window is between laps 23 and 24. So drivers will have to pit at least once, if not twice, depending on how they go about with their fuel strategy and their tire management. So we hop on board the McKinney, the number 8 car, who sits at 7th place right now. Ooh, look at all those tire marks there. Looks like a lot of cars overshot that turn. Turn 12, right before turns 13 and 14 to get back onto the main straightaway with the brickyard. Not the brickyard, the brick finish line, start and finish line. And we're going to jump over to Johnston. Franklin. Wow. Maybe I need to get my eyes checked. I went to go see the clips yesterday. The traffic was really bad. Totally worth it. But man, I feel like I'm struggling to read right now. As we're on board with Hunter Hughes, who's right behind DJ Fluck in the number 88 car. As he saves it, but it looks like Hughes is going to get in front of him. Hughes was our previous season's winner from season 1. So let's see how he does. We did get an interview with him earlier in this broadcast, at the beginning of this broadcast, before the race started. So let's see how it turns out for him. We got 39 laps left to go. So we'll keep an eye out. So far, a pretty good race around the all around for all the drivers. As we hop in with Franklin, who sits only 3/4 of a second away from Hutchings for 3rd place. This would be a battle for the top 3, so let's be good to keep an eye out for them. Looks like Chinsky has taken the lead away from Miller, and also lapped Ouellette in the number 80 car. So now Ouellette is 1 lap down, and Chinsky has lapped him. And we're going to go hop on board with Franklin and keep an eye on him, as he only sits 3/4 of a second behind Hutchings. Yeah, this corner's tight. Oh, and we see... looks like Ouellette, who spun out. Yeah, that corner, turn 7, is... will come up and get you out of... if you're not ready for it. You don't exactly want to lock up your brakes either, because that's... it's not a good place to lock up your brakes. As they lap Mattingly, who is now also 1 lap down. Might get to see a good race against Mattingly and Ouellette for 11th place. And looks like we got a good race brewing for the third place position between Hutchings and Franklin. About half a second between them, and we got 37 laps to go. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We're happy to have you. This is FR Racing's Indy Racing World Series, presented to you by Rogue Energy. We're happy to have you on tonight. It is a little bit of a different style of race tonight. It is, I don't think it's our longest one. It is up there, but it's our, well, maybe it's not. It's our road course. It's one of our few road courses on our schedule. And we get to see a race between Richardson and Roulette, as Richardson takes the position away from Roulette, but gets on the grass. It looks like he is able to maintain it and take off and get away from Roulette. As we're gonna go, let's see where it takes us. Looks like we're gonna hop on board with Johnston. He's currently sitting at 6th place as he passes Roulette and chases down Richardson. Well, for one of the laps, let's go to Chinsky, our race leader tonight. Actually, we'll stay with Franklin, and after he does this lap, we will hop on board with him and see what the racetrack looks like. Franklin is currently sitting in 4th place, and he is right behind Hutchings. He's still sitting about half a second behind. And we are currently on lap 11. A lot of these drivers have about another 11, 12 laps left to go with fuel-wise. So we'll see how that turns out for a lot of these drivers. As we enter into turn 11 into 12, and we go into 13, and we'll go inside the car with Franklin. As he turns into turn 14, and we'll do a full lap with Franklin. As you can see, it's a little tricky seeing it. You got the signs on the side that tell you what your distance is to turn 1 as we go into turn 2, immediately into turn 3, and then we have turn 4 right here, and then we have our S curve of turns 5 and 6. I'm sure there are names for these, but I'm not 100% sure what they are. And we have a straightaway right into turn 7. And turns 8 and 9. Then we have turn 10. Into a gradual turn 11. And in here, you want to take the outside so that you can be prepared for turn 12. Ooh, and he looks like Hutchings had to lift on the throttle there. And Franklin, we got to see a good overtake right there. Out of turn 13 and 14, looks like Franklin got a good jump. And will now be chasing down after Miller in the number 48 car. And that was one lap around the course of Indianapolis Motor Speedway with Franklin. Now Hutchings is battling hard to try to take his third place position back from Franklin, as he's going to try to dive the inside, and he successfully does. That's some hard racing right there, as we saw some lockup. And we're going to go back on board with, or not on board, but we're going to go back to Hughes, who sits only 0.6 of a second behind McKinney in 7th position. Remember, Hunter Hughes was our race winner from season 1 when we were at this course, as he dives on the inside, takes the inside corner, and successfully does so. Locks up his left tires, but looks like he was successful in doing it, in overtaking and taking 7th place from McKinney. We're back with Franklin, who lost his position to Hutchings earlier, and now we're with McKinney, who's trying to take his 7th position back. 7th place position back from Hughes, as they chase down Johnston slowly but surely. I think we'll be switching back and forth between Franklin and McKinney, Franklin / Hutchings, and Hughes / McKinney, only because their races are so close. Outside of that, there's a pretty decent gap between all the drivers, which is expected in a road course. And we do not have a caution flag to bring out the not to bring the course together, but to bring the drivers together. So each, I guess if you want to call it a pack, will kind of stay close together, as we see Chinsky lapping Mattingly, and now Mattingly is 3 laps down. But each pack will probably be together for most of the race, unless one of them pits and the other one stays out. And I guess it would be kind of like a planet with moons, maybe. I don't know if this analogy makes any sense. But and just, I guess, asteroids jumping ships from one planet to another planet. It's kind of similar with this tonight, except the asteroids are getting passed by some of the packs and the race leaders. And it looks like Chinsky's kind of running away with this race tonight so far. He currently has a 12-second lead ahead of Miller, who has almost a 14-second lead in front of Hutchings. And Hutchings is currently defending his position hard against Franklin. Looks like the race for 7th place between Hughes and McKinney has spread out a little bit. They sit about 1 second apart, which is still pretty close considering this is a road course. And the gap between each driver changes significantly around each corner as they speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. One driver hits the brake early, the other one hits it a little later, and they close the gap immediately. Let's take a look at the things to watch out for tonight. The Garage Talk GP, we are doing 45 laps. We're currently on lap 17 of 45 with 29 laps to go. That's an open qualification, which we saw with Ian Miller leading us out of qualification. There are no cautions, so we can, as we saw a lot of cars spinning out in front of us, in front of some of the drivers and all around the other drivers. There are no cautions, which I just said. So during this pit stop, it'll be interesting to see how the tires go when they alternate the tires out between the primary and the secondary tires. I believe there is a required compound change. I could be very wrong. So far, looks like it's a race of who can stay calm and collected during the whole race instead of getting too aggressive and going after a position or getting impatient. Looks like many of these drivers also found the traction line, or the best part of the race course so far, and just running the groove. And we're back on board the Hughes. Oh, that was close between Hughes and Colley II. Almost rear ends him. But looks like Hughes gets away unscathed, but did lose a little bit of time. He was sitting about 7.5 seconds down from Johnston, but now he's 9 seconds down to Johnston. So that kind of hurt his opportunity to catch up. And we're back on board with Franklin. As of right now, this will probably be our main focus of the race tonight, just because how close they are between each other. As we see Hutchings slowly, and then just passing Mattingly, who is now currently sitting 14th and still 3 laps down. Looks like Chinsky is making his way around the field and just lapping drivers left and right. He's having a really good night tonight so far, sitting about 16 seconds ahead of Miller, second place, and Miller himself having a pretty good night, sitting 16 seconds ahead of Hutchings. And it looks like Hutchings and Franklin are also having a pretty good night, and sitting 15 seconds ahead of Zito. I'm not sure how well this leaderboard timing split is doing with live data. I'm watching all these numbers jump around, and it's a little hard to tell what's going on with this race course. But we'll keep you updated. We'll keep you on the closest race on the track. And let's give some love to some other drivers. We'll jump back with we'll check in with Franklin and Hutchings in a bit. So let's go hop on board with our race leader Chinsky, who just lapped another car of McKinney, who is sitting in 8th place. He was on the lead lap until just now. So it looks like Chinsky's found his groove. And then let's go jump in with Miller and see how he's doing. He sits 17 seconds behind Chinsky. Looks like he's found a pretty good groove too. Let's go on board with Zito in 5th place. See how he's doing. Looks like he's all alone out there by himself. Looks like Chinsky's about to lap another driver. I wonder who he's about to lap. Let's take a look here. Oh, and Hunter Hughes takes a pit. I believe it was Hunter Hughes that Chinsky was about to lap, and Hughes will be down 1 lap. Let's go take a look at Richardson, who sits at 11th place, as he's slowly catching up to McKinney, who's sitting in 7th place. Richardson is currently 2 laps down, and McKinney is 1 lap down. They both will have to pass Chinsky to unlap themselves, as Chinsky is running away from them and continues to chase after drivers. I think that his next car to chase down will be Johnston in the number 24 car. And it looks like Chinsky is getting close to that. Let's take a look at Johnston's car. Yeah, he's only a turn away. Chinsky's found a great driving line, and but it is a matter of time before Chinsky goes into the pits. As we see on the I accidentally left that out on the things to watch out for. Fuel windows between laps 23 and 24. So I believe Chinsky will be pitting this lap or the next lap. We'll see. Last time I predicted when someone would pit, I was incorrect, and it looks like Miller in the number 48 car has pitted. There are 23 laps to go. It is the halfway point, so I can see why Miller has pitted. Looks like Hutchings will remain out on the race course. And it looks like Mattingly just spun out. I believe that was him. We'll jump back in with Franklin. As we can see, he's in 3rd place because Miller is in the pits. Zito takes 4th place because Miller's in the pits. And still a pretty good race for now 2nd place between Franklin and Hutchings. As you can see, there's a 40-second gap between Chinsky and Hutchings, between the lead and 2nd place. Although the leader will have to pit eventually. Can't stay out there forever. Behind Franklin is Booker, who is in 8th place, sitting 1 lap down. And it looks like Hutchings and Franklin decide to pit together, as the gap widens between Chinsky and Hutchings, because I believe it looks like Chinsky stayed out. Wonder what his strategy is. We'll hop on board with Richardson as he passes Fluck. They are both 2 laps down. I think they may be racing for 10th place. Got a couple drivers in the pits currently. Oh, and Chinsky's in the pits. So our race leader has finally taken a pit. And Miller, who has pitted earlier, there he is, will be chasing down. That timing should be going down. I'm not sure why it hasn't. There he is. And then we'll jump in with Miller. Maybe it's a slight glitch with the program as Chintzy comes out of the pits. I wonder if that timing will change. There he goes, coming out of the pits with Hughes sitting right in front of him. Hughes was able to unlap himself. Hughes also has warmer tires, so Hughes will have a chance to run away and try to stay on the lead. Oh, and we can see the timing go down drastically between Chinsky and Miller. Let's see when it'll even out. Yeah, about 26 seconds ahead. Hutchings about 22 seconds ahead. And there looks to be a gap between Hutchings and Franklin now. So not much of a close race anymore between the two of them. So this might be a race where we just keep an eye on Chinsky and give some love to everyone else around the race tonight. So we see Chinsky about to go in and lap Hughes. Hughes is currently sitting in 6th place, about 10 seconds back of Zito, as Chinsky takes the inside line and is able to pass Hughes to lap him. Oh. Who? Yeah, our closest race so far is still between Franklin and Hutchings, and it looks like Franklin was able to catch up to Hutchings here. And looks like up in front, Richardson is leading in front of Hutchings and Franklin, and Mattingly let them pass through. Looks like all the drivers made it through that corner, turn 7, 8, and 9 pretty smoothly. So go into turn 10. Oh, and Richardson was a little too aggressive, it looks like, into the corner, and has to let Hutchings and Franklin go by. Now Mattingly's pretty close behind Richardson. And Richardson goes into the pits. So hop back on board with Franklin as he is sitting 0.3 of a second behind Hutchings in the number 25 car. Good battle for third as Franklin takes the inside and is able to keep it through the corners of turns 1, 2, and 3. Is able to put a sizable lead between the two of them of 1 second. And it looks like Hughes has gotten into the pits as well. We are currently on lap 28 of 18. Let's go ahead and let the director, let's auto-enable the director and see what he has, the AI director has for the race tonight. Oh, and looks like Collie had a slight spin out. Let's see, rewind. Oh, doesn't like. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So let me do the replay scene as I try to replay. There's a lot of buttons to press here. Let's see. So we return to the broadcast, and we are keeping an eye on Collie II. He had a slight spin out on turn first two. And then as he comes into turn 4, it looks like he didn't get a good line. And unfortunately, took a dip towards the beach and the gravel pit. And is making his way back and racing. And we will bump this back to the live view once I can figure out how to, there we go, get back to it, and we'll return the broadcast. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad, hopefully, for all the viewers. The good thing about the replay is it means the leaderboard and the race status does not change no matter maybe not change is not the right word, but will keep live updates of the race instead of showing the status of the race at the time of the crash or of an incident or of a replay scene, which is something I think is nice and is valuable. So then if we do miss something, we can see a lead change on the leaderboard. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see it, but we'll be watching something a little more, hopefully, exciting instead. So we're on board with Booker, and it looks like it's a battle between Booker and McKinney for 7th place. McKinney took the spot for a little bit there, and then Booker took it right back. I think it's called a switchback move, where one driver goes in front for one corner and then right into the other corner and takes it right back. And we're hopping on board with Miller as he's closing in on Colley the second. And looks like we have Ouellette right behind Miller. No, that is Richardson right behind Miller. As they come around turn 7, 8, and 9, and that's a very hard corner to navigate, and Colley the second lets Miller go. He also lets Richardson go too. Yeah, this course is takes a lot of practice to navigate and to get used to. It's not something, one of the courses that where you can just hop on and have fun. It's definitely want to know the course and know where to turn and where to accelerate, where to brake, how to move your car around the track. So it's definitely not a course where I can hop on and race with them. Lots of kudos to all the drivers tonight driving and having a good time, hopefully. We are currently on lap 31 with 15 laps to go of our 45 laps. Now on lap 14, not lap 14, lap 32 with 14 to go. We're back on board with Franklin, who has just passed Ouellette in the number 80 car. Ouellette is currently sitting in 12th place and is 4 laps down. Franklin's currently about 20 seconds behind Miller, who is almost 42 seconds behind Chinsky. Oh, and looks like Franklin's got some traffic ahead of him. Looks like a traffic of McKinney and Booker. Yep, that's McKinney right in front of him in the Atari car paint scheme. And Franklin takes the inside, and he overshoots it. Both McKinney and Franklin overshoot the first turn. As we have Hutchings closing in on the gap, trying to pounce on him. But it looks like McKinney was able to save Franklin and creates a gap between the two drivers. As they go on the, I don't know if it's called the back stretch or the middle stretch, but the middle straight stretch as, whoa, what a move by Hutchings. As he overtakes Franklin, or not overtakes Franklin, overtakes McKinney to catch up to Franklin. It is, I feel like, a matter of time before Chinsky laps both Hutchings and Franklin. The only car that separates Chinsky in P1 and Franklin and Hutchings in P3, P4 are the two lap drivers of McKinney in P7 and Colley II in P11. Right now, it is back to Hutchings and Franklin, since they are the two drivers that are closest to each other position-wise. And looks like Chinsky has just lapped Colley II again to put Colley II 4 laps down. And looks like Chinsky is closing in on McKinney. We'll keep an eye on Hutchings and see how close that gap gets between the two drivers. Let's go to our blimp. Oh, looks like Hutchings went a little too aggressive into that corner. Let's do a little bit of a rewind there. Yeah, he got a little too aggressive there and mowed a little bit of grass and got straight back into the course. Let's hope that didn't affect his driving line as we speed it up a little bit. It looks like Hutchings currently about 3 seconds behind, 2.5 seconds behind Franklin now. Looks like we got a slight battle brewing between P8 of Booker and P5 of Zito, where Booker is trying to get around, or got in front of Mattingly, it looks like. Let's hop on board with Chinsky. Looks like he's trying to pass McKinney and successfully does so. We'll stay with Chinsky as he closes in on Hutchings and Franklin, as we can see Hutchings right in front of him. There's Hutchings. And Franklin is right around that other corner right there. And here goes Chinsky to try to go lap Hutchings and Franklin. We'll go from the blimp view here for a little bit. We'll go back into a different car. Oh, it looks like Hutchings got passed. I'm sorry, I missed that. And I'm guessing Franklin's going to be pretty close to getting lapped as well. So So we take a look. Yeah, he's only 2 corners ahead. So we'll see how well he can maintain his position. Well, we'll go take a look at McKinney real quickly, as he is currently pretty close with Hutchings. So it'll be a race for the lapped cars. The close race is going to be between the lapped cars. And we're going to go take a look at Fluck in the number 88 car, as he's closing in on Mattingly, who sits in 12th place. And he is 5 laps down, and Fluck is 3 laps down. We got about 9 laps to go. Now 8 laps. And we are currently on lap 38 of 45. So we go over and take a look at Hutchings. Looks like it's a pretty close race between him and Ouellette behind him. And behind Ouellette is McKinney. It looks like he overshot the race course a little bit, but looks like he's back on the track. Let's take a look at Chinsky, see where he's sitting. Okay, he's about to enter turn 7. Let's go take a look at Franklin and see where he's at. Oh, he's still 1 turn ahead. 1 corner ahead. Let's see how long this will last. Chinsky is driving quite fast tonight. Doing pretty well so far for himself. I mean, he is sitting 53, almost 54 seconds ahead. So I would say that he's doing spectacular. It'd be kind of interesting to see if Chinsky's able to lap the whole race, or all the drivers tonight. I think Miller might have a chance to not get lapped. Franklin's going to be pretty darn close. But we will see. We got 7 laps to go. We're on lap 39 of 45. Looks like we got a close race brewing between Booker and Zito. Let's see. Almost been with Colley the second. So we'll go back to on board with Chinsky and see if we can watch Chinsky lap Franklin. We'll watch it from the inside. Car right in front of Chinsky is Franklin, who sits in 3rd place. Still currently on the lead lap. And is trying to stay on the lead lap with 6 laps to go. We're currently on lap 40. Five more laps to a white flag and 6 more laps to a checkered flag. And Chinsky takes and laps Franklin. And Franklin is now a lap car. Now Chinsky has, I think, about 25 to 30 second gap between him and Miller to try to lap all the cars in this race. He's got 6 laps to go. He's going to have to hope, if he wants to lap all the cars, there will probably have to be something to happen to Miller, which obviously we don't hope that happens. Let me knock on some wood. No announcers jinx tonight. Although I'm starting to notice that we might have a broadcaster jinx. So maybe we might hold off on doing a interview before the next race, and see if that holds true or not. Oh, and looks like Miller kind of overshot the racetrack. Johnson sits right behind him, sits at P9. Oh, that's Richardson. It's Johnson. Johnson sits right behind Miller. I think Chinsky's getting close. Currently, the drivers in front of Chinsky, between Chinsky and Miller, are... Oh, my schedule, my book kind of changed up a little bit. Are Johnson, Richardson, and Fluck. As Fluck overshot the course, so he will let Chinsky get in front of him. And Fluck will sit 4 laps down from Chinsky as he gets lapped. Now, there are 2 drivers that separate Miller from Chinsky, and he has 4 laps to go. The 2 drivers are Johnson and Richardson, P6 and P9 respectively. I believe there will be a pretty big shakeup after tonight's race with the point standings. We will take a look at that later. After the race, we'll take a look at the point standings. Before this race, I am not able to update the point standings live. There's a lot of calculations that go into it, including the laps led and other stuff that I unfortunately do not know off the top of my head. Nor can I do math that quickly. So I think the rest of this night will be if Miller can keep away from Chinsky and remain on the lead lap, or will Miller get lapped as well? There are 2 drivers that keep Miller away from Chinsky, and those drivers are Johnston, the number 24 car, currently sits 6th place. It's only a lap down, which is pretty amazing right now, considering the fact that Chinsky's just driving really, really well tonight. And Richardson, who sits in 9th place, who is 2 laps down. Looks like we got a good battle between 3 drivers right now. Oh, and looks like who was that? Zito had to lock up on his brakes. Unfortunately, this was not for a position. Fortunately for Zito, unfortunately for Booker, this was not for a position, as Booker is 2 laps down and Zito is 1 lap down. Looks like Chinsky's catching up to Richardson. It's coming pretty close, and Richardson lets him pass. And looks like there is another 2 drivers that separate Miller from Chinsky. It is Johnston and Colley II. But Colley II will probably let Chinsky go around. We got 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go on this race. He'll get the white flag at the end of this lap, and then that'll be the end of the race tonight. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. This was FR Racing's Indy Racing World Series. We are here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway with a road course set up. And we are, as he enters turn 12, 13, and 14, under white flag conditions. This is the final lap. Looks like Chinsky is chasing down Johnston. Is keeping the gap between him and Miller. But this is it. This is the final lap. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight in the broadcast. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you very much for bearing with me with our new feature of the instant replay. I'm hoping to be able to use that a little more. As we come into turn 12. And here we go into 13. Got one more corner to go into turn 14. And we have the checkered flag. 45 laps of racing as he does his victory. His victory slide, not slide, but just doing his turns. So we have Chinsky, who finished first. Second place, we have Miller, who will have to cross a checkered flag in order to call it a second place finish for him. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Looks like there's a good race between third and fourth. Nope. Are they done? I think they're done. We'll go back to Miller as he passes a checkered flag. So Miller finishes in second. Hutchings is in third. Franklin is in fourth. Looks like a lot of drivers came off. Fifth place Zito, sixth place Johnson, seventh place McKinney, eighth place Booker, ninth place Richardson, and 10th place is Fluck. 11th place is Mattingly, 12th place is Ouellette, 13th place is Cawley the second, 14th place is Hunter Hughes, and 15th place is Brandon Birmingham. Pretty good race tonight. It was fun to watch. Let's take a look at Chinsky and see if he's doing any burnouts. Yes, he is. A sweet, sweet victory for him tonight. And let us take a look at the standings and see if it might shake up any of the these positions. Chinsky is currently, let me see if I can find him. Is in 7th place. He's definitely going to move up. Franklin finished 4th tonight. He will also be moving up. Chinsky will be ahead of Franklin this time around, as Chinsky finished 1st and Franklin finished in 4th. I'm not sure if it's enough points to take Eric Richardson down from the lead spot, as he finished in 9th place. Outside of that, I'm not seeing too many shifts around on the standings. On that note, we got two drivers on the broadcast with me. We got Ian Miller and Joshua Chinsky. Welcome to the broadcast booth.
Thank you.
How's the race tonight for both of you? You guys did look pretty good out there.
It was awesome, man. I mean, I love this track. I mean, home track, IMS. I mean, what can go wrong, honestly? IR18. It's just such a gorgeous combination.
Yeah, you had a pretty dominant showing tonight. And Ian, you managed to stay on the lead lap with Joshua. So nice job on that.
Yeah, I mean, I had a strategy, and that was a lot of fuel saving while I was on the softs. And when Joshua pit after me, that's when I knew I had significantly lost this race. Because, I mean, it's like, oh, great. He did better fuel savings than me and outpaced me by 25 seconds. Great. That's a good sign.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah,
How's it
I mean-
going? Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Hello.
How you doing tonight?
I finally get in the broadcast booth.
Yes, you do. Welcome in.
I capitalized on my teammate's unfortunate timely throttle application.
I saw that. Yeah, that was a good race for you. My scoreboard switched on me. Third place for you tonight.
Yep.
Nice.
I just tried to keep the car on track. That's all I did. I kind of knew attrition was gonna lead to a top 5, and that's what it did.
Yeah, you had a pretty good race the whole time. I felt like between it was just going back and forth. So nice job tonight. Do you have anyone you would like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I need to thank all my boys over at HSR. I gotta thank All Star 15 TV for sponsoring our team. JP Customs, which is Mr. Chinsky here. Let's see, who else I gotta thank? Detour by Design, Drinking Bros Auto Racing page. Holy crap, it's been a long time since I've had an interview. Honey Hill Farms, Hutch Music, crap, who else? I can't remember. If I'm forgetting you, it's because I have short hair and very short memory. So yeah, yeah, that's and oh yeah, and I need to thank Mr. Chinsky here because we did practice earlier this week, and practice netted us a how we needed to win this race. So
Awesome. Well, nice job tonight, and thanks for joining the broadcast. Ian, do you have anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
I'm not sponsored. Whoever wants to give me money to do my hobbies. It's just a preemptive thank you. I'll thank my beautiful fiance and my cute dog for deciding to actually be quiet during this broadcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
The dog, not the fiance. She's always quiet. But my dog, never.
I hope she's not listening to the broadcast because you might be sleeping with the dog tonight. And Joshua, anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Racebox Sim Racing, Racing Sim Tools, and the GSR steering wheels, the sponsor, the SRT, and then obviously all the guys over at HSR. They've been awesome to practice with. I feel like we've all gotten faster together by putting in the time, and it's just been a really great season so far, and looking forward to the second half of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining the broadcast with me tonight, all three of you. It was a pleasure interviewing you three. Hope you have a great rest of your night, and good job racing tonight.
Thank you. You as well.
thank you.
Thanks. On that note, I will be signing off. Thank you very much for joining the broadcast tonight. My name is Takato Timmerman. I will see you next week at Milwaukee, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. This was iRacing TV, FR Racing's Indy Racing World Series, presented by Rogue Energy. See you next week at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you very much, and have a great night.